All right, I guess this is part two. I'm not sure if we're going to be actual trading. We'll see. Volatility is a little picked up compared to other days. I remember like 1 hour worth was like from here to like here. So actually, it's about the same. maybe not. But nonetheless, I drew a trend line here. And this could be something to implement in the future to add it into our strategy. Especially on these strong downtrends, when you know there's going to be a strong downtrend. Like we knew for a fact that we were going to get stopped out multiple times because nothing in our strategy says to sell with the overall trend. But now, if we draw this trend line out, let's go ahead and I'll show you how we draw that trend line out. So market starts pushing down. We see those lows tested kind of consistently. We can probably draw something off of that. This is kind of straight off of like what you call it, PATS, price action trading system.com. Actually, that looks correct there too. Looks like you break out of it. But as you saw, this could be a 2-tier as well, like that. Could potentially, but that's a little bit too much of a slope. I think the better way, actually, what am I doing, is this guy. Oh yeah, this is a better trend. Oh, it's much better actually. But actually, I don't know. What did we have before? We had something different. We had this, right? This actually looks much more correct. It's less of a slope. And you are reacting to these midline points. You push right through it, and then you come and test that midline. That's an interesting thing to see. But now we can add this to our strategy for one reason. It's not true adding trend lines and learning a whole new thing. In some version it is, but you now have different levels of support and resistance now. Now, how do we confirm those? We've always done this thing where if it was like this, like falling consolidation, it'll be an overall uptrend because that level of support would be enough to declare an overall uptrend. Now we have different levels of support and resistance here. We have this support level of this once, maybe push it a little bit through, but then you come and test it again and again and again. So maybe at this point, you could potentially treat that as an overall uptrend if we did this. Let's see. If our actual trend was like this at first, and we placed it like right here. You got 1 test, 2 tests there, then a huge bounce. Yeah, it's really only 2 tests, so maybe not. Unless we do it something like this. Nah, fam. Could be like this, because we have a lot of tests down there. And you come and test that guy again. So I guess either one's correct. But I was gonna say, if this was actual tests here, this could be treated as an overall uptrend. But then you hit that high, so it could be an overall downtrend again anyway. But I guess if we draw our trend line like this, kind of like how we used to do it back in the day when I used to trade patch strategy. This would be an overall uptrend. You tested it once here, 2 times, and you kind of push through it 3rd time, but you're still in the trend. So this could be an overall uptrend, and then you would just go for a sell. So that's obviously pushing it extremely. Then you come and test it again, and then you kind of consolidate too. So it'll be overall uptrend. You go for a sell, you test again, but then now you you test again, swing high first entry. You come in for that test, so overall trend is up, you go for a sell, but obviously you can't. Then you had the swing high first entry, second entry, and here it looks like the best thing to do is actually go for the buy, because now you just have an overall downtrend. No level support resistance that you broke out of to continue that. Now we're not gonna call these as treat those as that like level of support that if you break out of, there's gonna be FOMO. That's a different type, I think, which is like this, the more obvious range, because it's going a little farther away. I guess from the EMA line, something you don't want to do. But nonetheless, overall downturn, you go for a 1 tick buy. This pushed down a little bit, but I think you're okay by a couple ticks, and then the market skyrockets here. Now we have an overall uptrend because we have this falling consolidation, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, no gaps really. And so overall trends up. You go for a sell right there. Then you got swing high for second entry with a spike down with the overall trend. That's gonna cause a lot more FOMO. So you go for a buy there, and that would be a good trade there. So maybe we're still in this. Maybe we'll keep trading. Who knows? So we're at least minimize our loss. All right. It looks like we might have to switch to this guy. Yep, looks a little bit better. All right. It looks like we had a setup. I missed. Swing low first entry, second entry. Overall trend is up. You go for a sell. Potentially we could still get into this. Yeah, that was a good trade. Alright, in kind of a predicament here, we have this move down here. I would like this for this to keep moving. That way we can treat it as an overall downtrend. Just go for a buy here. And I think that's what we're gonna do. It's a little bit of a bigger move here. With the overall trend, that's gonna cause a little bit more FOMO. But in regards to how much that's gonna carry, I think it might carry a little bit. Carry a little bit of weight to it, but this could most definitely be an overall uptrend as well. Yeah, we'll treat this as an overall uptrend. We'll go for a sell here, or buy, sell, buy. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a little bit more FOMO that the market's gonna keep pushing down here. So we're gonna treat this as an overall downtrend. What does our strat say? It's a rangy kind of day. This has been a little bit of a rangy day, but it's also been a strong trending day. So I think there could actually be a lot of FOMO. So overall trend would be down there. So this is part 2. And we're in it again. At least we're in green so far. Can minimize our losses here. Just let it keep going. I kind of want to increase our scalp. Is that weird? Nah, that's safe. Let's increase our scalp. It's pushing up. It's pushing up. I kind of want to go to break even. There you go. Nice. Alright, we minimize losses, which is good. Minimizing losses is the best thing we can do now. But it's nice to see that our strategy fixing itself, I guess. Because here it was just being completely slapped around. But then eventually our strategy just came into play here, which is nice. That the push down, that was a good sign of a push, especially with that bar with no wick. That's a good downtrend, and that's going to treat the trend to be overall down, especially with the overall trend being like that. So good trade. Do we go for another one at break even? Swing low first entry. Overall trend is now up. I don't see any staircase high or staircase highs. So that means we do have to sell here, which I don't like. Alright, that's going to be it for sure. But in regards to these trades, it's a little... I'm just going to go ahead and call those 15%ers. Unless we could go ahead and confirm these. Confirm this somehow on some other trades and some other days. That would be an overall uptrend. So overall uptrend, swing low, first entry, second entry. You would actually overall uptrend, then you would go just for the sell. We're not going to count that midline as anything. Then you bounce here again. Bounce there, overall trend is up. You go for the sell, and then you bounce there again for the last time, and you go for non-obvious. But then you get the break. Swing low, swing high, first entry, second entry. I'm not going to treat that as that, or if you break out of it, you get FOMO, so that's just going to be a normal buy, and you would have got that. So just those 2 trades there, 3 trades there. Yeah. So maybe in the future, maybe even here, let's see. I don't know, I don't want to start using this. It's just something I really don't want to do. Because we treat it as an overall downtrend, right? Then yeah, it's not something I would like to do. We'll just take those as 15%ers. Yeah. Looks like we had a second entry there. I just didn't take it because I was accidentally on this guy, waiting for a second entry. But yeah, overall trend is down there. You just go for the buy. You can't really treat that as lows because there's just way too many of them. And it's yeah, it's not staircase lows. It's just too strong of a trend. Yeah. But yeah, that buy would have been the best trade. Then we got swing low first entry. Still treating this as a downtrend, nothing to indicate an overall uptrend. There's a lot of consolidation there though. So since it is a downtrend, we go for a non-obvious buy. This could be our last trade for sure. We're still I'm trying to break even today. Let's go ahead and see if we can do at least that. Volatility picked up a little bit, which is nice. Looks like it's gonna be a 75 high. Let's see if we could maybe even hit our goal. That'd be amazing. It's only 11:09. We usually get back from work at 11 o'clock on Thursdays and Fridays, so technically this is still an okay place to trade, I think. Should we have to... it's about the same. Ooh, we were 1 tick away from that entry. Maybe we can still get in it? Question mark. Come on, get us in the trade. Get us in the trade. And we're in the trade. Overall trend is down. It's just a spike up. Actually, overall trend could potentially be up as well. It is a spike. This side had a lot more. Yeah. Damn it. Okay, that's it. We're done. Bye.